and gentlemen, the books is in. The books are in. Yep. They in. They're here.
Log in to KofiPaisaTV.com and get Spears of the Mossy Volume 1 by Kofi Paisa Research Team, from Spears the Pen Volume 2 by Kofi Paisa Research Team, Spiritual Combat Volume 3 by Kofi Paisa Research Team, One Night Before Bed by Any Harek Shun Calfunny, Kalawa's Trip to the Motherland by Kofi Paisa, From Cocaine to Consciousness by Any Harek Shun Calfunny, As I Learned, We All Learn by Kofi Paisa. Also, if you want fresh merch, go to our online store, Family Connect Apparel, and get all the brands. Also, get our 54 deck of quiz and educational cards, available now on KofiPaisaTV.com.
Copyright disclaimer: under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. ETM Hotel, Rennie Sean, welcome in peace. My name is Sean. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in to Science with Sean on both the Mossy Warrior Clan YouTube channel and the Science with Sean YouTube channel. Please like the show, share the show, tell a friend, tell a friend. I did not share this. I'm going to be very brief, so I'm going to get directly to the information. I'm not going to hold everybody up. I know we got a video we did last night. Many people are still trying to review that video and see what actually had happened or took place. So I am going to get directly into the bill, and I'm going to keep this as short, sweet, and possible. Short as possible and sweet as possible, so we can move on. So again, in the discussion last night, we had this conversation. We started talking about vaccines and things of that nature. We get in, we're asking questions. However, I had posed initially, let me go back a little bit, and let's deal with this.
Because I told him to get it. Well, he went and got that treatment.
What they are actually treating people with is type O blood. That's what's helping the patients go home. They're treating them with type O blood. And that's
no. The monoclonal treatment is not that.
I'm not talking about what is helping.
That's what they're using. No.
They're using type O blood.
No.
Okay. I'm look it up, Taharka. Facts.
They're not using. They're not giving people blood transfusions, brother. They're not giving people blood transfusions, brother.
Look it up.
No, I don't need to. I already did it. Don't tell me to look it up. I understand you don't know who you're speaking to.
I know exactly who I'm speaking to.
I'm ahead of you, bro. I knew all of your arguments before you made them.
I'm You're talking
Ask
about
Unc.
You're talking
Ask
about,
Unc.
I'm not gonna
No. Do yourself a favor. Ask Unc. Did the brother that's talking to me right now know all my stuff before I said it? Ask him. See what he say.
I thought he was a damn mind reader or something.
I'm gonna tell you like this, Taharka. They're giving you the science from the people who base their whole lives on destroying you.
Yeah, I'm not taking it regardless. You're not talking to people.
No, I'm telling you the truth. Their science.
No, I don't care what they say.
They use their science.
I want to point this out too, because Aunt told me last night, or everybody that was listening, that Taharka wanted to debate the best person on the subject matter. Why would he want to debate someone on the subject matter when he's mentioned twice in just this 30 seconds that he ain't taking it regardless? So what is there to debate? There's nothing to debate because you're not taking it regardless. So what you want to argue about it for? When you're debating, you're supposed to be debating a topic, and then you hash out the topic. And then once the topic is hashed out and the information is presented, is that. See, I have my information written. My information's written, soon to be published. So if you want to debate me on a topic, I have a whole book you can read, brother. How about that?
Read this book.
Don't bring that book out. Don't bring that book out, because she don't support you, bro.
Yeah, she don't support you.
We can get her on the line too.
Yeah, don't make us get her on the line.
She'll clear it up.
Okay,
don't do it.
Hold up, bro. Let me let my brother.
Taharka, did you hear that though? That the lady that wrote that book supports us in vaccines.
I'm gonna ask you a question, though, Uncle.
Did you know that? Did you know that?
I'm not familiar.
Y'all haven't proved that the vaccines are safe.
All right, man.
Let me get my brother comedian Jay Scott back in, brother. He didn't finish his thought.
Yeah, you kind of punch drunk, yo. Relax.
I just want to say that, you know what I'm saying, I think that, you know, because I've looked at, you know, countless amounts of, you know, videos, Sadie, like what I think it boils down to is that, you know, you have to have your health in line to some degree. You know what I'm saying? You have to exercise. You have to eat the right foods. You can't be out here eating buckets of chicken and you think that herbs or anything is or a vaccine is going to help. You can't out here eating chitlins every damn Thanksgiving and you think that you're going to eat you've been doing that for 20, 30 years. It's just like what I tell like females that get perms in their hair. You're getting chemicals that are dissecting and fizzling your brain. Like I believe that, you know what I'm saying, we have to really take the health more serious. And it's been years and years and years of you abusing your body. Nothing at any point is going to help you unless you focus in on your health. You know what I'm saying? You can't be smoking cigarettes. You can't be smoking blacks. You can't be eating this processed meat. You can't, you know, because at the end of the day, right now, white folks are mad. White folks are rebelling. You understand what I'm saying? White folks are showing that energy out here that they don't trust anything that's being put out here because they family members are dying from these shots. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
That's not true.
This white folks movement, that's why.
But brother, I'm telling you what I see in these streets and out here.
It's 180 million fully vaccinated people. How many of them you think are white? Or no, let me rephrase that. There's 180 million fully vaccinated people that in the United States. How many of them do you think are white?
Okay, so how many people are white out of those 180 million?
Yeah, you only got.
He asked me the same question that I just asked him. Now, last night I let it slide because I wanted to see if people would catch that. But I asked him, and then he asked me the same question. But this is not the point of the video. This video is directed at Taharka, and now we're getting into the part, and I don't know why I went so far back, but we're getting into the part where Taharka is Googling something, and he's about to ask the question.
Black people.
Listen, yeah, there's only 50. Listen, there's only 50 million black people. So the 90% of the people are white people that are fully vaccinated. Even the people that was spewing the anti-vaccine rhetoric, the Europeans that was spewing the rhetoric are vaccinated. Their head honcho, Trump, was spewing the vaccine rhetoric. He's fully vaccinated. His daughter, fully vaccinated.
Where can we find that information, brother?
They're having problems.
Oh, Taharka, thank you for asking me. Thank you for asking. What I'm gonna do, Taharka? I'm on my laptop.
I don't want to bring up Trump saying that he was fully vaccinated or getting a booster shot again during this particular video, because that's not the point. And that's on the other video. But we're about to get to Taharka's argument here in just a second. Let me see if I could just bump it up.
Black Panther.
Right.
Okay. All right. So
As excluded.
I'm on my laptop. I'm on my laptop. I'm gonna switch, and I can show you whatever you want to see.
I got a question though, real quick.
Here's his question.
Let me say this. Can somebody please explain to me why they just excluded Senate staff, Army personnel, or whatever? You know the story that just came out that
they didn't exclude.
They are basically excluded.
Mandating.
What is that?
Right. Oh, so the man this we knew that this Department of Veteran
Excluding truth.
You didn't even let me finish, bro. You just kept jumping in there.
Come on, let him finish.
And it says, or get tested once a week. You don't have.
Hold up, no, let the brother finish.
And excluding truth.
COVID-19 in our country, including requiring that all federal employees and contractors be vaccinated. This means that all VA employees will now need to be fully vaccinated within 75 days. They gave them a time period. From the time that the email went out, they have until October the 8th.
Or get tested once a week. See, he's excluding truth.
You didn't even let me finish, bro. You just kept jumping in there.
Come on, let him finish. Because I'm actually reading right now while he's talking.
And it says, or get tested once a week. You don't have.
Hold up, no, let the brother finish, brother. You can get the floor in a second. I don't think you finished your answer, big bro. That they are not going, and this seems to be very valid. That
they already. I got the email. I ain't got no.
And this seems, or
we're gonna look.
I got the email. I ain't got no article.
Watch this.
I'm not. According to this
He's
article,
share screen.
President cannot impose vaccine mandate on Congress via executive order or in an agency or department regulation, according to Congressional Institute. And I just really just pulled it up real fast, but I actually studied it very closely, and this seems to be very valid. That although you already email, but I'm talking about the rights of Congress and their staff has been really put to the test. But as of now, they're standing on this, that they are not going to accept this mandate.
Who is they?
The last person I seen to speak on it was
no. Can you be more specific?
No,
that's too broad.
Listen to me.
Because
I'm about
listen, that the top Republicans are vaccinated. Yes or no? Are the top Republicans?
You gotta let me answer, brother. The last person I seen to speak on it was Pelosi, and she spoke on it just yesterday. You follow me? So I'm not.
She vaccinated.
Listen to what I'm saying. But nevertheless, she spoke on it. So when we're talking about whether someone is vaccinated or not, but to exclude a sector of the government, why not just push it to the whole government? That doesn't make a lot of sense, brother.
Watch what they do.
All right. So he posed the question, why are they excluding the government? All right. So it says, no, President Biden's vaccine mandate for federal workers does not apply to members of Congress and their staff. President cannot impose vaccine mandate on Congress via executive order or an agency or department regulation, according to Congressional Institute. On September 9th, Biden introduced his plan of action on the COVID-19 vaccine pandemic as the highly transmissible Delta variant continues to spread across the country. In his speech, he talked about the White House and announced that he assigned 2 executive orders to require all federal employees and federal contractors to be vaccinated. A verified viewer wants to know if these orders also apply to members of Congress and the staff. Okay. So does the president Biden's vaccine mandate apply to the federal staffers? Now, the answer was false. No, the president's vaccine mandate for federal workers does not apply to members of Congress and their staff. What we found out is that the president signed 2 executive orders requiring vaccinations for federal employees and millions of federal contractors on September 9th. Before signing the executive order, he made a speech at the White House. Executive orders would apply to federal workers and contractors in the executive branch of the federal government. Members of Congress, which includes the House of Representatives, Senate, fall under the legislative branch of government. The judicial branch, which includes the Supreme Court, is also exempt from Biden's mandate. So this is his question. He's trying to figure out, why are they not mandating Congress? Now, a spokesperson at the Congressional Institute told Verify by email the president cannot impose a vaccine mandate on Congress via executive order or an agency of department regulations. August 3rd, 20 members of House Representatives sent a letter to Dr. Brian Mohanan, who serves as the physician of Congress, asking him to consider mandate vaccines for Congress. Now, this is what his question is: why are they excluding the executive branches of government? Why not all? Why are these people? Now, I'm going to tell you this very slowly because he brought up Pelosi. They have to listen to this guy, Dr. Brian Monahan, who issued mandating the mask. Okay? During a weekly press briefing on August 6th, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi they asked House Speaker Nancy Pelosi about a letter and possibility of congressional vaccine mandates. She responded that Congress has to follow the guidance of the attending physician. We are guided and have to be guided by the guidance of the Capitol physician. He has made those contentions. And when weighing the equities take us to a different place, I'm sure he will tell us. They don't have to follow any executive order by Biden because they are mandated to follow the guidance of the Capitol physician. Okay, Taharka? They are under guidance to follow the Capitol physician. To be more frank with you, let's go exactly to the transcript of Pelosi's question when asked. So we get full clarity of the question. Here it is. You ready? Can y'all see that? Madam Speaker, several House Democrats have called for the Capitol physician to institute a vaccine or test mandate for members and staff. You have previously said that members can't be compelled to get vaccinated because it's a matter of privacy. We can't know who is and isn't vaccinated. Do you still hold that belief? And do you see some merit in a vaccine or test mandate? Speaker Pelosi. Well, you only gave part of my statement. I'm going to say that again. She says, well, you only gave part of my statement. What I said was that we are guided and have to be guided by the guidance of the Capitol physician. He has made those contentions. And when the weighing, the equities take us to a different place, I'm sure he will tell us. Now, in a matter of maybe days or weeks, the full approval will be given to the vaccines. And that, I think, will make a difference in terms of what we can do. Sadly, one of our colleagues who is suing me for making people wear masks, which of course the District of Columbia says you have to do inside, but nonetheless, he sadly has been diagnosed. Yeah. Okay, Madam Speaker, Speaker Pelosi Garrett. You see what I'm saying? That's her words exactly. They are under guidance of the Capitol physician. And I said on the show, I said, ask that same question in a couple of weeks. You don't believe me? Let's go back to
it. In 2 weeks.
I understand your interpretation. You understand what I'm coming from. You understand what I'm coming from. I seen to speak on it was Pelosi, and she spoke on it just yesterday. You follow me? So I'm not.
She vaccinated.
Listen to what I'm saying. But nevertheless, she spoke on it. So when we're talking about whether someone is vaccinated or not, but to exclude a sector of the government, why not just push it to the whole government? That doesn't make a lot of sense, brother.
Watch what they do in 2 weeks.
Let's go back. Speaker Pelosi. Well, you only gave part of my statement. What I said was that we are guided and have to be guided by the guidance of the Capitol physician. That's your answer right there as to why they haven't expanded it to members in Congress and Congress staff. And he says they're fighting this tooth and nail. They're under the Capitol physician's guidance. He has made those contentions. What contentions has he made? To test regularly and everybody get vaccinated. That's just a fact. Now, and when the equities take us in a different place, I'm sure he will tell us. Now, in a matter of maybe days or weeks, listen to what I said. I said, ask me that again in 2 weeks. I said, now in a matter of maybe days or weeks, the full approval will be given to the vaccines. And that, I think, will make a difference in terms of what we can do. Sadly, and then she talks about one of her colleagues is suing her because she's asking him to wear a mask in a building, which in the District of Columbia is a policy. I am live on both the Mossy and Science with Sean YouTube channels again. I did it last night. I'm back again today. So I wanted to come on and I wanted to deal with Taharka's question as in why they haven't spread it out to the government, because I didn't answer that yesterday. I didn't want to deal with it yesterday. I wanted to deal with some of the foolishness. Now, when you slow things down and you deal with the point for points, you can see who's studying and who is not, because he said yesterday he was pulling up the article. I pulled up the article that he has here, but it doesn't give full context of what the Madam Speaker, Nancy Pelosi, stated. So she's under guidance of the Capitol physician. His name is Dr. Brian Monahan. He's serving as, and he stated what it says right here in the transcript. This is the transcript. So I do want to deal with a fact check real quick. Because this is where a lot of stuff has come up again about this. Charlie Kirk misleads on White House. Now, in this video that was published yesterday was what's today, the 15th? Yeah, today's the 15th. He said yesterday Nancy Pelosi spoke, but when you go back and you look at this article right here that he pulls up, he doesn't show the date. He's good at that. It don't matter. He pulled this up yesterday. This article was written, I'll give you the date. This ain't from yesterday. Look, it was updated on the 13th. It was published on the 10th. So he brought this up. You see what I'm saying? What he does is he tries to set stuff up, and he continues to do that. So if he talk about he wants to debate me, he has to write something. He has to publish something. He has to prove worthiness on the subject matter. I've been dealing with this for years, and he's not gonna try to degrade me. So it says federal employees, including White House, must attest to being vaccinated against COVID-19 or else comply with the routine testing and mitigation measures. But conservative commentator Charlie Kirk claims that the White House staff is not required to be vaccinated. Baseless questioning if undisclosed concerns about the vaccines are at play. All right. So here's the full story. Y'all know that I'm not going to read it. It says Biden announces federal mandate for COVID-19 vaccines. We just kind of went through that. He signed 2 mandates. Okay, then you got the story. It says it should be the #1 news story in the country, Kirk claims in the video on the 20th, which has accrued more than 2 million views. Did you know that the White House, that they are not mandating a vaccine? Did you know that the White House staff is not required to get vaccinated? He says all of those things. Now, he says, the article says, while there is still not a full-blown vaccine mandate for White House staffers, that exchange is from July 23rd, 6 days before the White House announcement of the so-called vaccine or test requirement for all federal employees, right? A White House official confirmed to us that the policy applies to White House staff. Kirk did not respond to our request for comment. This is Kirk. Look, insane hypocrisy. White House staff not required to be vaxxed. This is misleading. Now, to continue on with what's going, well, I really ain't got to at this particular point, but to continue on, he was using some information that wasn't even prevalent to the conversation, and he brought it back up. This is what they do. They use tactics to draw up these fantasies. Okay. Every source that I put up is in the description of this particular video. I wanted to play this particular video to deal specifically with that question. I didn't want to go too far along in this. I just wanted to handle my business very quickly. All right. So I appreciate everyone for tuning in. I appreciate everyone for liking the shows, whether on the Mossy or Science with Sean. Please go subscribe to Science with Sean if you're not subscribed. Click the notification bell, share the show. Like the show, share the show. Tell a friend, tell a friend. Taharka Bay, no homo. I'm on your ass, boy. I'm on you. Because if you was talking crazy and I didn't tune into the rest of your show, once you put me in the back, at this point, I was here, and then at this point, I wasn't here. You put me in the back, I dipped. I left, I closed out the show, and I didn't deal with nothing else that you said. Because your question that you asked me regarding does the vaccine cure COVID-19? And then you wouldn't even let me explain it to you that are you trying to address the disease or the virus with your question? You didn't want to hear that, but you want to have a discussion with me and you ask me illegitimate questions. So if you want to talk to me about vaccines, you come on the Mossy Warrior Clan or Science with Sean channel. Because I'm not playing by your rules or your audience or none of that. I done been on your show twice. Both times we're on. And every time we come over there is some level of disrespect or disingenuous behavior going on about you and your people. You already told us you're not interested in taking the vaccine. So no matter what I say, what I prove, and what the evidence state, it doesn't matter to you. You're staunched in becoming a victim. Because it's only a matter of time before you catch COVID, and you know we don't know what's going to happen when that happens to you. We have no idea. So you want to play ball with me, bro? It's on my terms, or shut up talking to me, because I'm not talking to you no more. I don't go over there and I don't watch your shows. I stay in my own little corner. I try to educate the people, deal with some debunking some misinformation. And you got a lot of misinformation, so I'm not going to waste my time going over there and listening to your stuff. However, what I did do last night and today was show you how understudied you are in this realm. Stick to the Circle 7 pseudo Quran. Don't come in this lane. You're not built for this. That's the last time I'm really going to say it to you. If you want this work, you can get it. My book will be out real soon. You can wait on my book. You can purchase my book. You can read my book, and then you can critique my book, and you can bring it to the forefront and say whatever you want to say. Or you might trap yourself. And this ain't got nothing to do with ego. I do what I do because I am trying to save Black people's lives first. I am trying to educate the ignorance out of our people so that we can make an informed decision in the middle of a pandemic. I don't have the time that you have to go crazy on with silliness. And as for other people who want to use anecdotal accounts to make it seem like this is how they beat something, you ain't beat nothing. You haven't. That goes back to Brother Sanjetti. That goes back to the brother on the panel talking about he fast. And then turn around at the same time he said fast, he said he was eating fruits and stuff. This is craziness. Vitamin D didn't prove to prevent or treat. Vitamin C, D3, vitamin C didn't prevent or treat. Zinc didn't prevent or treat. Sea moss ain't prevented or treated. And I got access to 100 pounds of that sea moss for real, purple, gold, and green. The real good stuff, not that low quality stuff. What else y'all like to use? Whatever y'all try to use, it didn't prevent or treat. So the question now is, what herbs specifically, let's be specific, what herbs specifically do you have that can prevent the spread of infectious disease from COVID-19, cause an immune response to COVID-19, I'm serious, cause an immune response to COVID-19, prevent hospitalizations or death, because it's real serious now, because 1,600 people are dying a day. So what do you have that can stop 1,600 people from dying a day? You can't use monoclonal treatments. That's not going to stop reinfection or anything like that. So you got to come on with the come on. Everything is everything said. Mossy chat is the last chat to act the fool in. Y'all know Kofi don't play. He says the FDA need to vaccinate the food mayonnaise. Oh man, you crazy. All right, so in short, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. I'm keeping this very bite-sized. Like the show, share the show. I should have not did what I did yesterday and just put together a presentation and then play video clippings of them making the claim and then me debunking the claim. He said that black tea and elderberry. Nah, yeah, he out of his mind. Back shit crazy. Elderberry has failed to prevent or treat COVID-19. Neither one. Listen, herbs do not stop the spread of infectious disease. It doesn't. What they're talking about is treating symptoms. If you have, all right, so let's say you're infected with COVID-19 and you have these symptoms that, you know, like normal herbs can actually help treat, not cure, not really heal, but help assist, right, in treatment. Okay. This is what they're referring to. But what if the cases is severe? What do you have for severe COVID? You don't have anything for mild COVID. What do you have for severe COVID? You're going to use the same stuff? Is it going to work? No, we don't know. It's all speculation. There's no scientific evidence. We saw this yesterday. The guy made no argument for herbs. Why he didn't make any argument for herbs? Because we already got all the source information on the herbs. There's no science, there's no clinical trials. There's no double-blind placebo-controlled trials, no cohort studies. There's none of that. There's no significant level of scientific data that goes out and shows and proves. The brother even brought up Madagascar, y'all. That was so 2020 debunked. Every corner of the earth they go to with these claims, we've already dealt with it. It sends us all the way back to 2019, before the pandemic, with this information. That's why Unc brought out the immune system. Facts. Facts. Treating a stuffy nose with Vicks vapor rub doesn't mean that the Vicks is killing the viral infection. Facts. That's what I'm saying. Like the sister was telling me the other day that she cured her kids of COVID. I said, how? She said she gave them green tea and something else. I said, that ain't cured nothing. She said, well, their symptoms broke. I said, how do you know the disease is not in them? She said, what do you mean the disease? I said, SARS-CoV-2 is the infection. COVID-19 is the disease. She said, what? So I'm infected with a disease? I said, yes. And she said, yo, it was crazy. So I said, what blood work? She said, well, I watched their urine, their pee, and their stool. What? Are you bat-ish crazy? Ma'am, what blood work did you do where you looked under a microscope and you saw and you tested to see if the disease was no longer there? Do you even know what the disease looks like under a microscope? If you don't, we can show you, because an electron microscope has shown what SARS-CoV-2 looks like. So we know you didn't do that. Well, she says, well, they're doing a little bit better. They just had an asymptomatic response. So it makes no sense why you're saying what you're saying. It's complete foolishness. I was like, man, you're going crazy. Well, I'm just gonna keep on taking the herbs. I'm about to walk to the store. Oh, I can't even walk. Oh, I couldn't even get out of bed a couple of days ago. My body was too sore. You crazy. Rob, you late, bro. But yeah, I'm gonna keep this video bite-sized. It's 37 minutes at this particular point. I do see people coming in. 13 minutes, I gotta log in to work. I don't want to prolong the video. What I do want y'all to do is to go back. Bear with me, because I did get to a little late into Taharka's question about Nancy Pelosi and Congress not being the mandated question that he actually posed and asked during the live stream. And he didn't want to listen. I said, just wait a couple of weeks. And then I go behind and read Nancy Pelosi's transcript. And Nancy says, well, we'll have more information in the coming weeks, and that could change everything, which means if that data comes out and does that, then it could be mandated that Congress have to be fully vaccinated. That's the point. Or succumb to, consistent testing and things of that nature. Doesn't matter. Mandates have been around for a long time. I don't know why we're trying to put up a fight and make a big deal about everything. That's craziness. I will not be addressing Nicki Minaj or her crazy claims about her cousin or friend or whatever. They're lying. We've already dealt with infertility, so there's no need for me to continue to do that. There's no scientific evidence that will show that COVID-19 vaccines cause fertility issues. However, what does cause fertility issues in men is getting or catching the virus. The disease, being infected with the virus and catching the disease. So COVID-19 will cause erectile dysfunction. We talked about this before on the Science with Sean. COVID-19 will cause erectile dysfunction in men. And on that note, I'm going to let this marinate. If you missed it earlier, please go back and review it. Remember, we got Spearmasters dropping on the 24th. Please like and share the show. Support Kofi Pi Research Team, Mossy Warrior Clan, Science with Sean, Pseudo Killers, Real Black Atheists. Support, Armor Rock Squad, Seshu, Mani, Metal Nature. Support all the families. You know what I'm saying? Now, Niger Valley Civilization. We're bringing it. And again, Taharka, I'm on your head, man. Talking about you want to debate me. Just in a little bit of information that from the last 24 hours, less than 24 hours, in the last 15 hours, I've already dealt you a bad hand.